Thank you. So, just to summarize, she had the EDO who had some three really important points that we all can learn from. The first one is that you're not alone, you're part of a big team. So she involved the DCO as soon as the targets were received. Then she involves all the deputy DEOs and AEOs, and they all work together to achieve this. In fact, she went even further and involved the children in the schools, the parents, as well as the health department to help achieve these targets. So that's the first lesson. You're not alone, you're part of a big team. The second important lesson is that keep a close, she kept a close eye on the data, working closely with the DMOs. So she looked at all the tests, and where she found some problems with the data, she sat down with the DMO and tried to find solutions and looked at the data in more detail. So working with the DMO closely and looking at the data is important. And the third thing which is also really important is she was in the field a lot herself. So she went in the field multiple times to both work with the DMO as well as the DEO to try to monitor the activities of the staff. And that is also a very important point.
Thank you. That's a very good summary and some excellent contribution. Thank you. So all those the EDO all the time, the solutions to the problems, every problem you face, somebody in this room has already solved it. There's no problem without a solution. You are in your heads are the solutions to all your problems. And we want to try and get this dialogue where you learn from each other. Does anybody in the room, and Caitlin, Simon, Ali will come with the microphone. Does anybody in the room want to ask a question to either EDO Bahawal or EDO Multan? A question or a point that you want to make? There's time for debate and discussion. Who would like to contribute? Or maybe you want to add something that you've done that went very well in your district that you'd like to bring into a contribution. Any questions, any thoughts? Any of the new EDOs, do you want to learn more from these two successful, experienced EDOs by asking a question? Feel free. This is your meeting.
It is a ground reality that our school in rural areas near the beat of rivers, Chenab, Jhelum, Nikisi, schools are situated about 5 to 7 kilometers from each other school. How can an innocent child reach who has no conveyance, no facilities, a poor child, how can he reach the school traveling more than 3 or 4 kilometers?
All right, that's a very good question. So who can help our colleague here with a solution to this problem? Where in the river areas that he mentioned, there are isolated rural families and children. What is the solution to that problem? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. They'll bring you a microphone, and then 1, 2.
In that area, non-formal schools can be opened, as video education is now working as video literacy. So he can easily open that school.
Yeah, EDO.
The problem mentioned here actually exists in Multan, where schools are some distant places from the population, but non-formal schools are helping. Literacy department established non-formal schools, adult literacy centers in those places on both sides where public or government schools are not available. So this problem was solved by non-formal schools and adult literacy centers. Now this can be expanded because children 4 to 9 age, if the school is at far place, then it is difficult to reach there. But social resistant non-formal schools and adult literacy centers. And government schools can also be opened where population is huge and much students are available, and this kind of problem can be solved.
Ali, would you just mind translating that into Urdu, just reinforcing it in Urdu briefly?
तो इन्होंने बेसिकली दो सोल्यूशन बताए हैं, या तो उन्होंने कहा कि आप नॉन फॉर्मल स्कूल वहाँ पे खोल सकते हैं या फिर एडल्ट लिटरेसी प्रोग्राम वहाँ पे शुरू कर सकते हैं। ये दो सोल्यूशन बताए हैं। इसके अलावा वो कह रहे हैं कि अगर आबादी आपके एरिया में ज़्यादा है तो आप गवर्नमेंट को भी कह सकते हैं, वो पेप के थ्रू जो उनका न्यू स्कूल प्रोग्राम है वो आपकी साइड आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं और स्कूल आपको बनाया जा सकता है।
Thank you. Do you want to?
मेरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट न्यू डिस्ट्रिक्ट है। मैं इस ऐसे एरिया जानता हूँ, मेरी नज़र में मैं विजिट करा सकता हूँ जहाँ पर ये इतने फासले पर, जितना मैंने पहले बताया, इतने फासले पर स्कूल मौजूद है। जहाँ तक आप लोग बात करते हैं एडल्ट लिटरेसी सेंटर्स की या नॉन फॉर्मल स्कूल की, वहाँ पर मकामी बंदा पड़ा हुआ नहीं है। 15,000 तनख्वाह लेने वाला टीचर सियासी अप्रोच के जरिए उस एरिया तक जाता नहीं है। आपके 1500 पर कोई खास जाएगा? ये क्या हम अपने आप को धोखा देते फिर रहे हैं? काबों में लाहौर में बैठ कर जो पॉलिसियां बनाते हैं। मैं आपको दरिया के एरिया में ले जाता हूँ, आप मुझे पूरे एरिया में नॉन फॉर्मल स्कूल के लिए कोई उस्ताद ढूंढ के दे दें कि जो वहां पर पढ़ाने को तैयार हो। ये गलत बातें हैं। हम ऐसे ही कागजी घोड़े दौड़ाते रहते हैं कि जनाब ये कर लिया, वो कर लिया। मैंने भी सर्वे किया, मेरी भी एनरोलमेंट 90% है, 90% से ज्यादा है। लेकिन एक्चुअल हकीकत की अगर खुदा को अगर नाजर जान कर बात की जाए तो हम सब गलत कर रहे हैं। मैं भी झूठ बोल रहा हूं कि 90% है, नहीं 90%। मैं आपको ऐसे लोगों दिखा सकता हूं जहां पूरी पूरी आबादी में सारे के सारे बच्चों को पढ़ने के लिए कोई सहूलत मौजूद नहीं है। एमपीए के डेरे पे स्कूल बना हुआ है, उस्ताद उसके डेरे पे बैठा हुआ है, वीडियो साहब छापा मारते हैं, वीडियो साहब छापा मारते हैं, वापस आने से पहले फोन आ जाता है कि जनाब ये हमारा खास बंदा है, इसको अगर पूछा तो तुम्हारी गर्दन तोड़ देंगे। ऐसे हालात में कहाँ की तारीफ? ये बातें सिर्फ कहने की है, बस सच बात कहने की कोई जरूरत नहीं कर पाता। ये इसका हल ये है कि वहां पर नॉन फॉर्मल स्कूल न खोले जाए, बल्कि जहां हम ग्रेजुएट टीचर भर्ती कर रहे हैं वहां पर उनका लेवल कम किया जाए। यानी ऐसे लड़के जो हैं उनको खास इंसेंटिव दिया जाए, मैट्रिक लेवल को खास इंसेंटिव दिया जाए कि वो लोग ऐसे इलाकों में जो फॉर्मल एरिया हैं वहां पर जाकर वो लोग स्कूल चलाएं और उनकी कारकर्दगी से उनकी जो तरक्की, उनकी तनख्वाह है वो मशहूर हो।
Thank you. EDO Valpa.
ये आपने इतराज तो बड़ा वैलिड उठाया है, तो उस ईडीओ या डीओ को क्या पड़ी है कि वो एमपीएस की ड्यूटी से डरे हो गए, जो करना है कर दो, मैं तो अपना स्कूल चलाऊंगा, मैं तो टीचर के साथ कार्रवाई करूंगा। क्या कर देगा? सिर्फ ट्रांसफर से डर के आप काम नहीं करेंगे। ये जो बातें हैं ये भी आपके अपने कमजोर होने की निशानी है। ये कोई महकमा तालीम है, कोई एहसान नहीं आप कर रहे। मैं औरत होकर कभी नहीं करी हूँ, मैं ट्रांसफर करवा के अपना काम अपनी मर्जी से करती हूँ और टका के रखती हूँ एमपीएस। और हर जिले में मेरी शर्त, मुझे जब पोस्ट किया जाता है तो उस जिले में पोस्ट किया जाता है जहाँ के एमपीएस काबू नहीं आते और भेजा जाता है कि मैं जाके आगे करूँगी। फीडर स्कूल एनसीआईडी के ताउन से हमने फीडर स्कूल खोले और देखा जहाँ 2 किलोमीटर के एरिया में हमारे स्कूल नहीं है, फीडर टीचर 1500 या 2,000 पे वहाँ का उसके घर के अंदर स्कूल खोला गया। और यकीन जानिए हमारे रेगुलर प्राइमरी स्कूलों से ज्यादा बेहतर कारकर्दगी मैंने पाई, क्योंकि मैं फील्ड में घर घर चप्पा फिरती रहती हूँ। बागपत में देखा, उगाड़ा में देखा, बिहाड़ी में देखा, बहावलपुर में देखा, किसी एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट का तजर्बा नहीं कि मैं उस हवाले से बात करूँ। और फिर मैं जाके देखी जहाँ मजदूर स्कूल खोले हुए हैं एनसीआईडी ने भी, वहाँ जाकर उनको खत्म कराती हूँ, जो सिर्फ लोगों को फायदा देने के लिए फायदा है हमें। अगर हम खुद अपने अंदर इतनी पावर रखते हैं, हम पॉलिसियों को इम्प्लीमेंट से चिपके रहना हमारी मिराज नहीं है, काम करना हमारी मिराज।
Okay, thank you, shukriya. Now, hold on a minute. There's a very interesting debate going on, but I'm ignorant and I can't understand, so I think it's going to summarise the debate for me, so that I can understand what you're arguing about.
Sure. So basically, the point is, like I said, they're basically saying that all the policies that we make are good on paper, but in practice they don't get implemented because of political intervention. So even if the teacher or a head teacher does not perform, if he fires him, on his way back he will get a call from an MPA or MLA to reinstate him. And what the lady has pointed is basically that being an EDO, you should not be afraid of political intervention. At the most, they can transfer you, and you should not be afraid to get transferred, and you should not let political intervention prevent you from performing your duty.
Beautiful. All right, thank you. Look, this is it. I've heard some of this discussion among you before, and I realise it's a big problem, and that there are solutions. One of the things we have raised with the Chief Minister is that he needs to play a part in ending this political interference in teacher transfers, and a new policy has been approved recently. But it won't solve all the problems. It depends on your collective activity. But we are working on all the problems that you're talking about. Now, what I want to do at this moment is ask Simon Day to list some of the problems with establishing targets that we've seen in other countries, and then we'll have more discussion, more debate, exactly as you were doing. We're very keen for you to have the kind of conversation that our friend here just raised. So, Simon, can you just introduce a few classic barriers to the successful implementation of targets?
Thanks, Michael. Yes, I'm not sure I can follow those contributions with the same level of passion, but I'll do my best. But it is true, as Michael says, that in all the systems that we've worked in across the world, we've seen some common issues, common problems coming up in setting targets, and some pushback that you're likely to get. I wanted to take you back to the handbook, because there's actually a slide here in the handbook on page 16, and if we skip on 2 slides,
Slide 16 on the screen, please.
then you'll just be able to follow what I'm going to talk to you about. Back on. Just wait for you to find the page in the handbook. One more. There we go. We're there. So this is just some reflections that Simon and I had on our experience in England and then working in other systems about some of the problems you might have in not just setting the targets at the district level, but in trying to cascade roll those targets down to your sub-districts or to your schools. And so the first, and this was a problem that Michael experienced right back at the start of his work in England when he introduced the reforms of literacy, is that some schools or some sub-districts might just say to you, we're not going to set districts, we're not going to set targets. We know you want us to, but we're not going to play this game. We don't believe in the principle of targets, and we're not willing to engage in that. And one of the